This. All right. So, welcome to the Doula House. This is Dr. Akua Gray, and I am very happy that you all have chosen to be with us today. For this particular Doula House webinar, we're going to be talking about baby wearing. And obviously, you are interested in baby wearing. So, let's just go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and take my video off as well too. That way we'll just have the PowerPoint up on the screen. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the Doula House. The Doula House is a part of the A Life of Peace Wellness Education Institute, and what we do is we provide education, we provide resources, we provide volunteer doulas to mothers in the communities. And when I say the communities, I'm talking about here in Ghana, where I am, as well as in Houston, Texas, where the Doula House started, and really anywhere in the United States where we have trained doulas, because we've trained doulas kind of like all over the U.S. And so mothers that are in need of volunteer doulas, also doulas to perform certain tasks in prenatal, birthing, and also in postpartum. And so we have been operating the Doula House this is going into our second year. And we are always excited when mothers reach out to us wanting to know what we do and how we can help in the process of birthing and them also taking care of their little ones. So today we're going to focus on the little ones, and that is with baby wearing, right? So the first thing that is important about baby wearing is that it is the greatest sense of bonding for baby. Oftentimes people will say, old folks, I'll just put it like that, told us, don't hold the baby so much, you're going to spoil the baby. But in actuality, bonding with our babies, especially when they've been incubated in that close, warm space of mommy's womb all of their life, and when they come out and they're just kind of like all over the place, that's not a very good thing. They haven't adjusted to the world yet. So, as we will see, many indigenous cultures from all the way back to the beginning of civilizations have been holding baby close and bonding. And another particular reason why bonding is so important is because of security. Babies need to feel like they are protected. And when babies can feel confident about their surroundings, it helps them to grow up strong and healthy. And infants should never be left to feel afraid, because it's very painful when they feel afraid, and it also creates insecurity in them. So having baby close is something that all people have always done in all cultures. You will always see moms wearing babies from the east to the west, the north to the south, in terms of parts of the world. There's always been some kind of baby wearing, and it is because of bonding and security. Another aspect of bonding that is important is that unconditional presence. That presence of mom and other relatives is important as the infant grows into their environment, because them knowing that they are related and can relate to people in their environment helps them to become fully functioning members of the family. They're not feeling isolated. They're not feeling afraid. So that unconditional presence is another thing that baby wearing does in terms of helping baby to grow strong. So we say from a holistic point of view, yes, spoil the child. We want babies to know that they are protected. So we say that holistically, there is no such thing as spoiling the child because this world, again, it's strange, it's new, it's overwhelming to babies on so many levels. They don't know what trees are, they don't know what different people coming into their environments they're unaware of, and they feel afraid. So they want to cling and feel protected. So their need to feel close to the familiar actually builds up their confidence to explore the world. Because when they're close to mom and they see that mom is not afraid of what has come into their presence or their surrounding, then it helps them to then open up and say, okay, mom's not afraid. Mom's energy is not shifting to fear. So this thing, this new encounter that I'm having must be okay. And it helps them to create a safe environment for themselves. So we always say holistically, yes, spoil the child, keep baby safe, let them know that they are protected and what comes into their immediate environment is okay. And what is not okay, mom or relative, dad, sister, brother, grandmother is here to protect them so that they don't feel fearful. So we always say keep babies close. Parents are encouraged to keep their babies close to them, to consistently touch them. Again, while baby cells are growing in their body, they don't need to be terrified. That stunts growth, that stunts learning. So we encourage parents to constantly touch their children with positive, loving snuggles and always be available. Let me tell you, I observed one of the most beautiful things recently with one of my clients here in Ghana. I was in the immediate postpartum care of mom. Here in Ghana, home births are illegal. So we have to labor at home, and then when mama gets to that stage where she's getting the urge to push, we actually have to transfer her to a hospital if she's in an area where um, there is a hospital. Okay. So with this particular mom, we were, getting into the latching phase and working with mom on latching with the new baby. And she did something so beautiful, but so funny at the same time. So she latched, baby fed off of both breasts. She changed baby's diaper. And so then, after she snuggled baby back up next to her, baby still was a little bit fussy. So this young mother, and I think she was probably maybe like, I think she was like 32, if I'm not mistaken. This was actually her fourth baby. So when the baby was a little fussy, she picked the baby up and she was kissing him all on his face. And she was like, "What's wrong, baby?" And then he was still fussing a little bit. So she told him, she said, "Shut up," very lovingly, okay? She said, "Shut up." And then she was moving him back and forth to just kind of give him a little bit of rocking. And then she said, "Shut the fuck up." And of course, me being a person who doesn't use profanity, especially not to babies, I couldn't help but laugh because she said it in such a loving way. She wasn't cussing at the baby, but sometimes profanity, especially in languages that don't usually use profanity, especially English profanity, the meaning of it is not taken in the context of those of us who know what cussing really is. And so it was so very interesting to see that loving exchange, even though it had a cuss word in it from mom. So we always encourage our parents, keep baby close. Give them those loving words, those loving touches, those kisses, those hugs. They need it to know that this world is not a scary place and that they are protected. Now, if by chance mothers do decide, okay, I'm not holding this baby always wants to be whole, know that that child could possibly develop a complex because children who are neglected in this way of not being held, of not being attended to when they are crying, left to cry themselves to sleep in their crib because somebody said, don't spoil the baby. They may develop a very cold nature, and oftentimes they have social and family issues as they grow up. So we want to, again, make sure that we provide that safe environment for these little ones. And one of the most enduring ways of creating that security is what we popularly know as baby wear. However, the techniques in its traditional origins has existed for millennia. And I really love this picture because it has every kind of woman that you can think of represented here and holding her baby. So from the east, as far away as China, from the center of civilization in Africa, all the way to the west when we deal with the indigenous cultures of the Americas, and in the north when we look at the indigenous cultures of the Caucasian people, you have baby wearing. And so for us today, in our societies, we have such a variety of baby wearing that has come through different cultures and through our ancestors to where we've got several different ways that we can wear our babies now, not just one particular way. And so that's what we're going to present today is how to wear baby. And if you do have your baby wearing, your slings, your moby wraps, which we actually call swaddling wraps, which are the ones that you see here on the screen, because Moby is actually a name brand. Then we're going to learn how to wrap baby, how to keep baby close. We're going to look at the traditional Ghanaian way of wrapping babies, which I did not with my children because I didn't know about baby wearing back in the 80s when I was having my children. But I definitely did it with my grandchildren because I was the wiser by the time my grandchildren came along. And so let's go ahead and jump right in. And then as a bonus for today, we're going to be looking at how to help mother in her fourth trimester with a wrap that is specifically beneficial to mother, and that is the Bancoon wrap, which is also known as belly binding. And we do belly binding not only in Thailand, but in all indigenous cultures also have that method of helping mothers' bones and her womb to get back in shape after she has given birth. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch a video and then we're going to go through the step by step of each one of the wraps so that you can kind of get it. I'm perfectly okay with you all taking pictures of the slides. Absolutely fine. This video will be posted on our website if you ever want to review it again. And let's go ahead and start with the first one.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Naturally 50 Mom. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Moby wrap with your newborn. If you are new, welcome. My name is Brittany. My channel is all about natural parenting, baby wearing, cloth diapering, home birth, natural birth, anything natural you can imagine. I make videos on it. So don't forget to hit that button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Let's hop into it. So to start off, we've got our Moby wrap here. Basically, we're looking for the exact center of the wrap. And if you've got the Moby wrap in bamboo, like I'm showing here, you've got this little decal up at the top. If you've got some of the older style Moby wraps, that will be represented by a tag. And what I like to do is fold this in half, and just in the center, just about this far out, you want to make sure you have it nice and flat. Take that tag or decal, put it right over your belly button, and we're going to cross the straps behind. So we'll make an X, and then we'll kind of flatten those out and take them right over the shoulders, just like that. The flatter you keep these over your back, the more comfortable it's going to be. So as flat as you can. If you're in a hurry, not a big deal. Just make sure you cross over in the back. When we're doing, especially for the newborn hug hold, you want to make sure that you've got two pockets that both open up to the inside of your chest. So we want to make sure that the pockets here, where we folded it, are opening to the center on both sides. And just like that, make sure they fold that way, not opening out here. Once you've got that, we're going to take both of these straps and tuck them into the pocket. So right down into the pocket, and then we're going to make sure we have an X again so that they're crossed over in the front, just like so. So once you've got your X, we're going to take these again around, tie it behind if you'd like, or if you have extra fabric, you can take it around one more time and tie it in the front. There you go. You're wearing the Moby. Now it's time to grab baby. All right, so here we go with little Miss Kaylee. She is 2 weeks old, just about 7.5 pounds right now. So for kind of size reference and age reference. I also have a really old video with my 3-week-old who's about 10 pounds if you want to see the slight differences with that. So what we're going to want to do now is to figure out which side we have on the bottom of our X here. So if you look at this little X, my left side's on the bottom, and we're going to have her put in that pocket first. So I'm just going to kind of snuggle her here on my right side, and then I'm going to slide her little feet into this pocket on the left. So just kind of curl those under, just like they sit kind of when they're in your tummy and when they're comfortable. Just slide their little feet into the pocket, and then you cover that from her booty all the way up the back. Then you're going to do the same thing with the other pocket. We're just going to open that up. We'll just slide this little pocket over her booty and legs, and then again up the back. Keep in mind, it's completely normal for baby to fuss around a little bit and act a little uncomfortable when you're putting them into the wrap. Usually, though, they go to sleep right after getting in the wrap. That's my experience. So we've got this all crossed over. Now we're going to try to find or feel for that little tag that we use as placement for our belly button in the very, very beginning. So I think I feel that here. Yep. I'm going to pull that up over the back, just like this. This gives her nice support. And you can pull the bottom down, and that'll cover over her cheeks. Hi. Hi, Missy. Hello. And there we go. We've got a nice hands-free hold. If you're trying to maybe put together dinner or something like that, and you're going to be walking around, maybe you don't want to have your hand here for support, what I like to do is just kind of, bounce them in and tuck the pocket over. And that kind of gives you really good hands-free support. It makes them feel a little bit more snuggled, and it's very, very comfortable, very secure, but still very breathable. And as you can see, she's got a really good position in here and lots of air access. So that's exactly what you're looking for. Now she's not asleep now. I think she actually wants to nurse, but very comfortable, very hands-free. And if I keep walking around and bouncing, I'm sure she'll be asleep in a matter of minutes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick tutorial. If you are trying to master this technique, maybe you've got a newborn and this is your first experience with baby wearing, don't worry if you didn't get it first time.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take questions. Does anybody have any questions? Is anybody going to be practicing your your wrap? No questions? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just take a look here. Again, this is the step-by-step process of tying your swaddling wrap. Remember, you fold it in half, then you take equal sides, put it around the waist, cross it over the back, making sure that the back is flat across the back. Then in the front, you tuck the two ends down inside of the part that you put around your tummy area. Then you tie in the back. If you have enough, you bring it around to the front and tie. And then you open up the first pocket, put baby inside, and then bring the bottom part of your wrap over baby's back. And that will securely hold baby right there in your arms while you go about doing whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, so that is what we call the swaddling wrap. All right, no questions? Everybody's so quiet today. All right, so now let's go ahead and see if we can watch the traditional sling wrap video.
Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about baby wearing using the Guatemalan rebosos. I have here one of the new rebosos in the shop. I'm calling it Fall Leaves because they let me make up names for them. So we're first going to take the whole thing folded in half lengthwise. And I'm going to put it over my shoulder, all the way in, with most of it behind me. This part I want about down to my thigh, like mid-thigh, a little longer. That's just to keep a hold on it. And then we're going to wrap it around, make sure it's flat with the fold opening up towards the top of you. And you're going to pull it around over the front part and then under. And it's going to come out right here in this little space right in front of your chest. So I want to move the knot up towards my shoulder because it's going to move around a lot. Always making sure that it opens up towards the top. So I want to do the same thing for this part. Then I'm going to make a loop like this, take it under this front part and pull it through. So now we've got a slip knot. Boop, 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 boop. Easy peasy. I'm going to just straighten up here, make sure still open at the top because the fold closest to your chest is going to be under, supporting the baby's bottom. You can put a little, just your elbow in here to make sure you've got room for babe. And here we've got a baby. We've got little baby Jack. Oh, say hello. I'm going to go in under and put his little feet through. And this part's going to slide all the way up to support his back. I like to have one arm in so he can't arch his back and get out of here. And move him up to my hip. Always making sure the knees are above his bottom. As you can see, I've got enough fabric tucked up under his bottom to support him. And now I want to tighten it. So this bottom rail has stayed straight. The top one is just looped around it, so we can use that. I'm going to hold this slack around the top rail. And we're just gonna tighten it up on the bottom. So I've got Jack on my hip and I want to kind of tighten up the top rail to hold him closer to me. So I'm just going to go on that and pull it down in there. We are all set. We're happy and we're secure. I like this because I have him facing towards me so I can see what's going on with him, but he can still look out. So we're both happy here. So a couple points to remember. We always want to make sure his knees are above his bottom on the back too. And his back is supported. So you pull it all the way up. And you want to keep the knot at corsage height up here for your comfort. That's all. Bye.
All right, beautiful ones. So here we are. Again, if you have your cloth or your material to practice, stay a few moments on this sling baby wrap. Sometimes you can use it with the ring. I prefer the slip tie knot in terms of holding baby in the sling wrap. So again, your cloth is just about 6 to 9 feet long. You can use the traditional rebozo, or either you can get a regular piece of fabric. So 6 to 9 feet long, that's going to be 2 to 3 yards of fabric. And again, bring it across your shoulder. Do your slip tie knot and put baby inside of the pocket. And I can only just assume you all are practicing since I don't see anybody on camera. Okay. So Shayna says that second wrap looks too much like it takes too much effort. Not so confident with that technique. Prefer the first wrap method so far. Looks more confident. You know what? Actually, the way that she has the babies. Thank you for that comment, Shayna. The way that she has the baby's legs hanging out. You can only do that with a bigger baby. You don't do that with the small babies. With the small babies, just like you see with mom here, with the little baby on the pictures, she has the baby tucked inside and close to her body. So this one is more like what you would actually see for like the newborns. And so in other words, for the bigger babies, you're just keeping them snuggled up tight to you, but you do have to be aware of that bottom being tucked underneath their bottom. Okay, Thank you for that. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. And it looks like I may have to stop and start this one again. Not sure why it's doing that.
Video. Today we're going to go over how to tie the baby on the back African style. Tying a baby on your back or baby wearing is really great thing to incorporate into your like childcare routine because it allows you to get things done in a hands-free way. It's really good for the baby, allows them to really feel bonded to you, and also I find that it really helps babies fall asleep really easily. You want to bear in mind the baby's age and development. So baby Anna is 5.5 months old and she can sit up on her own and she can hold her neck up. I don't need to make sure her arms are always tucked in and stuff. When I first started tying her on the back when she was around 8 weeks, she didn't have the neck strength or anything yet. So you have to be a lot more particular about putting the cloth behind her neck, making sure her arms are tucked in so she doesn't flail around. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate how you tie the baby on the back and what exactly you need as well. First thing you're gonna need is African cloth or intama, as Ghanaians call it. So this is my intama, and this is basically all you need to tie the baby. So the other ingredient you'll need is a baby. So what you'll do is you want to take your baby and you put your arm under their butt, baby. And you put the baby on your back, like you're doing a piggyback. Okay. Right? You can just put the cloth somewhere, then you pull it over you and hold both ends. And then you just put it over the baby. You take both ends of the cloth and you wrap it under you, like that. Try to be secure. So you do it like a towel, like if you're wrapping a towel under yourself. Then you take the baby. I just make sure she's really sitting on my hips with her legs. And you take the excess cloth, kind of bunch it under her butt. And you take the bits in the front and you wrap. And you wrap. And you wrap. And you tuck under. You tuck it into your cloth. Baby should be secure. I've put her hands in because I think she's a little sleepy and I just want her to sleep. But if you have a small baby who can't really sit on their own yet, you need to make sure their hands are in so they don't have their head all over the place. Her hair cover's coming off. Gaga, your bonnet. Your bonnet. This is how you take the baby off. As you can see, baby is on my back. Oh, her bonnet has fallen off. Back. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend a little bit and untuck the bottom. You unwrap like that. Then you're gonna just let the baby pull the bottom out, and then you're gonna unwrap the top. But hold the top tight to you, so it's like holding the baby in place. You see how she's kicking, she can't move. Then you're gonna take one arm and kind of grab the baby with the other arm and catch the baby. And then you've taken the baby down. With practice, it gets easier, but you can always have someone help you, or you can do it onto a bed. But that's how you take the baby down.
All right, beautiful one. So now let's look at that technique step by step. First, and I tell you, this is actually my preferred baby wear because, like she said at the beginning of the video, it is an excellent way for baby to fall asleep. I remember I introduced this baby wearing to a young couple, and it was their first baby, and they were in their 30s. So neither one of them had any experience with babies. So when I taught them this, um, mom came back to me and she complained actually. She said, Dr. Akua, you have us arguing about who's going to put the baby on the back. So when he's doing something and I'm doing something and then the baby starts fussing, then he'll come in and say, put the baby on your back. And she'll say, no, I'm doing something, put the baby on your back. So it can work for both mom and dad. Again, putting the baby on your back, making sure his baby is secure over your hips. If the baby is small, you want to cover the baby's shoulders, but not their head and neck with the cloth. You tuck under one arm, very good, then tuck under the other arms, and then give it a nice roll as if, like she said, you're rolling your towel, and then gather the rest of the cloth up underneath baby's bottom. And I'll tell you, I've never seen a baby fall out of this wrap. It is so secure. So when you bring it around the front, you give it a twist and another twist, and then you tuck and roll underneath. It is so secure. And again, baby um, baby falls asleep almost immediately. And even when baby is, and it actually keeps baby sleep too, when baby can feel that rhythmic. So it's very womb-like. You know, one of the things that babies hear the most when they're in this wrap is what the sound that they are most used to, and that is the heartbeat. So they're very secure, very comfortable in this wrap. Question: how do the top rails stay tight and not loosen? Um, it's tucked underneath the arm, and then the other side is tucked underneath your other arm, and it's rolled. And it's very unlikely that it's going to loosen, because if it does start to loosen, which it really doesn't because it's rolled up very tight at the top, you will feel the loosening coming from underneath your arm. So I think it's a very secure way. Okay, next one. Agree, I like this method. Prefer the third wrap to the second. Looks straightforward and comfortable. It absolutely is. And then the next question is, does this hurt the baby's legs? No, not at all. It doesn't hurt the baby's legs. In fact, you can wear baby on your back literally all day long, and the baby and you will be just fine. But of course, you know, I don't think any mom actually wears the baby on the back all day. But if you're having to do it for an hour, 2 hours, you know, even 3 hours, let's say if you're traveling or you know, doing something that's an extended amount of work, then yes, you can. Thank you for those questions, guys. All right, so very good. Now let's go to, oh, okay, this is the other part of it where you twist and tuck underneath, and literally you are hands free. You know, one young man told me something very interesting about this wrap. He says that, you know, Ghanaian people have been doing this wrap ever since they can remember the beginning of their history. And he explained it to me that, you know, we tie the baby on the back because if there is danger, mother faces the danger first to protect the baby. So that is one of the reasons too why us as indigenous African people tie the baby on the back. One, to keep the baby close and safe, and then it is a part of us being security conscious about what the baby encounters as well. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Now here's our bonus. This is the tying of the Bancoon wrap, just in case mom wants to have a lift for her tummy as her body's getting back to normal. The traditional easy wrap is the one that we actually do here in Ghana with African fabric. But the Bancoon wrap that you'll see with the knots going along the front, that is the traditional one that they do in Thailand. So let's take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison with New Little Light. I'm a doula, nurse, lactation counselor, and mom of two. Today I'm going to show you how to do a really popular postpartum binding method, which is the Benkung belly bind. I'm going to show you the traditional way of knotting it all up the front, and also a more simplified way for those mornings when you don't quite have the time to do the full traditional wrap. Let's get started. Okay, let's start with the traditional belly bind first. A Benkung belly bind is a Malaysian wrap that's used to bind the postpartum belly. It is a piece of fabric that is about 9 inches wide and 16 yards long, so it is extremely long. This is so that you can wrap all the way from the bottom of your pubic bone, from your hips, all the way up to just under the breast line. So it's really important that you start with enough slack. I usually put my hand right down here by my pubic bone and then an arm's length up top this way and throw that over my shoulder. This is going to be the slack that I use while I'm wrapping it around. You can do this bind by yourself, or you can teach your partner how to do it. Today I'm going to show you how to bind yourself. So if you're by yourself, sometimes it's easiest to put the bulk of the wrap on the floor and then kind of twirl around so that you don't have to pull the wrap behind your body and kind of maneuver it that way. So I'm going to start with my hand right here. I'm going to place the wrap folded flat right around my hips. I'm going to go ahead and turn around. Okay. Bringing it all the way around. It's important that you start low on your hips. So again, you can see that this covers most of my hips here, and that's a great place to start. Normally, if you were doing this, I would do this under your clothes to make it easy for you to go to the bathroom and not have to take off your bind. So go ahead and pull your pants down a little bit, shirt up, do it right on your belly. That's going to be the best way to do it. So once you've done your first wrap all the way around, you're going to take your loose end, fold it around, and back up. Okay, then you repeat until you've gone all the way up to just under the breast. Let me show you that one more time. So, holding this in place. If you want to keep this tighter, some people hold it in their teeth, or you can just throw it over your shoulder, be a little bit looser, but then you're not hurting your teeth there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it almost exactly over that first wrap, and it's going to kind of adjust itself up. Once you've got it all the way around, make sure that it's flat all the way in the back. You can pull either rail, which is the top or the bottom here, to kind of make sure that it's fitting right and tight for you. And then once you return to the middle, you take the slack part, loop it around, back over the shoulder. Repeat until you're all the way up. Okay, so when you get to the end of your wrap, all all you're gonna do is tie it off. You can just use a standard knot here. If you have a really long wrap or an extra petite torso, and you end up getting clear to the bust line and you have extra wrap, just go ahead and wrap it around the top and then tuck it in the side. So there you go. You can see I've got my bangkong belly band wrap on. It is nice and snug. It fits really well. It's down really low on my hips. To start this wrap, you don't need any extra. So you can put the beginning right on your hips. You're going to go around 1.5 times and then twist. So here we've reached 1. This would be 1.5 times around. You're going to take the entire wrap and twist it over, kind of locking it into place on the side. That first one is the trickiest, and it'll get a little tighter as we go along. So there's 1 around. I'm going to go around an extra half. You can pull these rails tight as you go. And when you get to this section, I'm going to flip it over to lock it into place. The sun is out in Belgium, which never happens. Sun's gone now. That's probably the only sun we'll get for the entire day. All right, so I'm getting close to the end here. I think I will twist that one more time. Bring it all the way around. This one you don't really have an end to tie off. So when I've got kind of the rest of what I want to do, I usually just tuck it in the side. Again, this is not going to be as tight or good as a wrap as the traditional way, but you can see that that's still providing a lot of support for me. It's nice and tight all the way around. It's low on my hips. In fact, I think I even got this one lower than the last one, which is actually preferred. Still a beautiful way to wrap and a very easy way to do something in a time crunch. Tell me which way you prefer to wrap in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions, leave them down there and I'll get answers to you. We'll see you guys next time.
Right, wonderful. Yes, this is the Thai way of wrapping called the Bangkok belly binding. Okay. Yes, you will have a chance to watch the replay. Okay, what other questions? I'm sure it does, Shayna. Promote slimming and getting the womb back together and strengthening those ab muscles again. Yes. Okay. The wrap should be anywhere from 12 to 16 or 12, 16, 19. I mean, they have them in different sizes, but I'll say the one that would probably fit everybody would be 16 or more, 16 feet or more. If you have a really small person, a little petite, thin woman, you won't need that much. 12 yards might be enough for her. Okay? All right. The fabric is, you can use different types, but cotton is much better. So any type of the light cotton fabric, the Muslim, they call it Muslim fabric. And again, you can find these online for sale. I've never seen any of these in the stores. It's usually the artisans like on Etsy where you can find these. Here in Ghana, I have a young lady to make them for me that I give to my moms and also to doulas that train with us. Um, and she actually does a nice little tie dye for the ones that she makes for us here in Ghana. Okay. All right. Yes. Muslin cloth. Exactly. All right. Any other questions or any other comments? You guys have not been talking, but you've been interactive, which is greatly appreciated. Anything else? Because we are coming to our hour. Okay, nothing else. This is the final version of it. Tied up, step by step, low over the hips. And if you're just learning to tie the bancoon, then making sure that it's really low over the hips is where most newbies make the mistake. You know, it's not on the upper part of the butt, it's literally on the mid to lower part of the butt. You want those hips to be a part of the binding. Okay, again, mom can wear this pretty much all day. As it was suggested, she should put it right up against her skin underneath her clothes. That way she can be able to go to the restroom without having to take it off. Okay. All right, next question. Yes, Sade, you did miss the African baby wrap, but once the video gets converted, then go to our YouTube channel and you'll be able to watch it again. Okay. The non-traditional way is the Ghanaian way, correct? Yes, it is. That is exactly the way that we wrap moms in Ghana, except we use the African cloth, okay, which is usually um, no, you don't receive a certificate for attendance for this one. This is just an information webinar, Shayna, that we provide every other month to moms. We've got quite a few that are coming up. Okay? All right, wonderful. All right, so we have a gift for you. At the Doula House, we want to share resources. We want to make sure that those that come forth receive a gift, either if you are a birth worker or if you are a mom that is learning how to wear your baby. We always provide a gift. So, those of you who have attended today, we are going to be sending you an email where you can reply to us with your mailing address, and you will be receiving 2 yards of African cloth to learn how to use with tying your baby on your back. Okay, so we do have that gift available to you. So each one of our webinars, we give away gifts to the participants, because we want you to be able to not only, learn about it, but also get something in hand for you to use. So we will be sending those gifts out to you. It'll be coming from our warehouse in Arizona. So depends on however close you are to Arizona is how fast it'll get to you. Okay. Well, all right, beautiful ones. If there are no other questions, then I want to let you know the Doula House webinar that's coming up in February is going to be about the beauty of the lotus birth. And if you don't know anything about the lotus birth, I encourage you to look it up. But we're going to be talking about the goods and the concerns that people have with the lotus birth. And we'll be looking at how this is actually the natural way for us to detach or allow the placenta to detach from baby. Okay? With that being said, again, thank you all for joining us. Light and love to you. Look out in your emails for the email to request your mailing address. It doesn't have to be your physical address. It could be your P.O. box. We mail to P.O. boxes too. And again, welcome to the Doula House. Peace and blessings, beautiful ones, until we meet again.